All right, welcome to another Woods Report. So now it's the View's hot topics.
And you know, when we talk about the View,
and I know it's one that's hot. Viola Davis was on there. She was talking about the women king,
y'all already got controversy.
Already.
But I love to hear on the View because I like the View when they talk about a little bit of politics.
But they probably didn't do the controversy, right? We gonna do the controversy.
She made a comment about some of the things that
we're gonna talk controversy.
Here's the thing: the ladies that were in the show. Well, when we get to it,
yeah.
But I like hearing the View's view on it because they like the View that it is. They get different perspectives on different things that's going on. But the first topic. DeSantis has been making the news.
All right.
He's been making the news because you even talked about him earlier today in another show that we did. But this man, this governor running for governor of Florida, and will he make it again? You said he's Trump to the 25th power.
He's Trump 2.0. Trump 2.0.
I'm thinking the ladies was talking about. You want to play the video?
All right, let's see. Well, this is CNN CNN show.
Knows.
Let's just hear what they say.
Leaving Massachusetts officials scrambling to find them shelter.
We fed them and we've housed them for tonight. The focus tonight was just, how are we going to make sure these people aren't out on the street?
The Republican governors of Texas and Arizona have been busing thousands of migrants to Washington, D.C., New York City, and Chicago in recent weeks. CNN's Steve Contorno joins us live from Washington. This is an island. They certainly do have a tradition of a faith community that appears to really be stepping up, but this is an island that is not easy to get off of for these migrants.
So he shipped
New York facilitated using taxpayer dollars to help facilitate it, and last night he confirmed his involvement, putting out a statement that said, quote, "States like Massachusetts, New York, and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals who they have invited into our country by incentivizing illegal immigration through their designation as sanctuary states and support for the Biden administration's open border policies." Now, the people who are in Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts had no idea that these individuals were arriving. They said that they basically set up shelters like they would if there was a nor'easter or a hurricane that had hit the area. So, and back home in Florida, immediately hit with condemnation from Democrats. The state party chair said it was
because everybody kind of knows.
Everybody, if you watching the news, you can watch it. You can probably see Fox spin on it. They took luxury liners. They took a bunch of.
If he paid for them to make sure they were comfortable. Yeah, you got to look at the other side.
Right.
And they did say they're sanctuary states, so they shouldn't be surprised.
First class, Governor DeSantis sends illegal aliens first class. That's to Martha's Vineyard. Now, I go to Martha's Vineyard several times a year, and that's a beautiful place. Beautiful. He could have sent them anywhere. He sent them to Martha's Vineyard.
Joe, let's just take this for the fact that they said they're sanctuary states. They should not be surprised because any sanctuary state should always be ready to take on. And just let's remind our public people that they're illegal. That's just remind
I told you both parties. I don't like both parties, but go ahead.
Yeah, the ladies on The View, they really felt Democrats calling DeSantis tactics evil, inhumane, and regardless to the immigrants coming over and sent to the sanctuary states. Okay, we get it, DeSantis. Right. They are sanctuary states. Can you give them heads up? Can you let them know you got a bus?
Exactly.
They're coming to Martha's Vineyard. We got about maybe 500 of them. They're on the plane, on the bus. Gosh. DeSantis, can you just give them heads up? That's all we're asking.
No, he was trying to prove a point.
I know.
That's why if he really cared about those people, he would have gave them a heads up. But that's how
and
they
went back and forth on. We all know that even with handling of immigrants in the past, they had people had made comments about Obama. He was tough too, and he sent a lot of families back home.
He sent more than anybody.
Yeah, he sent more than anybody. To be honest,
comb over.
If y'all didn't know that about Obama, but
the Democrats and the Republicans, neither one of them want immigrants.
Yeah,
I wish y'all would get that through your heads.
Yeah, the true feelings.
Neither one of them want them. But the difference is how you do it.
Yeah.
Like we said on the last video. Well, like we said on the last video, Trump, remember when the kids they were separating the kids and his wife, Donald, the wrong Donald. McDonald. And he said, she bugged me all night.
Yes.
He said my wife wouldn't leave me alone. So he didn't say out the kindness of his heart.
Until
he said my wife.
Until he did good by that whole thing that went on.
Don't separate. So DeSantis is saying, you want them? Here they are. I'm going to fly them to you. Now, at least he did fly. Well, it's an island.
Taxpayers' money, though.
Taxpayers'
DeSantis. I guess you felt like, because they felt like you did, it wouldn't matter if their tax money went to this.
Exactly.
Because they don't want them in the country.
Yeah.
So send them. Use my tax money, DeSantis. Use my tax money.
I agree. I think if you're in a state that they don't want migrants or
don't
whatever,
keep them there.
I feel like they should go to someplace else, because why would you want to stay someplace where you're not wanted? That's my opinion. If I came over here trying to get away from murderers or whatever, people that was hurting me and my family, I would want to go to a place where people actually want me to be there. And again, all these people, they coming over here and steal our jobs.
Right.
What jobs? What jobs are they stealing
away
that you want to do?
You wouldn't even do.
What job?
You've above that now.
You're not McDonald's. You say they don't pay enough. Minimum wage needs to be raised.
I don't work in the stock room.
You say they work you like slaves.
I don't work in the freight pickup for the packages.
You say they work you like slaves and everything. Yeah. So why would they want you when they can just get a migrant worker or something?
But Alyssa brought up a good point. She just spoke about how she feels that both parties have a responsibility to deal with the whole immigration law and the immigration rules and guidelines. And she's really not like, she has an issue with our Vice President Kamala Harris. So I'm thinking,
is that why he dropped
that's
the
probably
Texas
why
guy
he dropped him off at her, gave her address.
What's the issue with Kamala Harris?
Well, as far as the comments that she's made about the borders in regards to securing them, she's saying that both parties really need to be diligent in securing our borders.
Yeah,
but these people, the people that are coming through, they know that they're coming through, right? And they're going to these sanctuary states. So it's not like they're just not sneaking over.
Right.
But she said she's concerned that we definitely need to make sure that we can take care of them.
Exactly.
That we can feed them.
That's why you don't drop people off like animals.
Yeah. So you wouldn't do a whole a bus load of dogs that way.
You know what?
Know that.
They wouldn't even do that to dogs.
They have doggy houses ready for them. Oh, they had
he would call. If there was an influx of
animals,
chihuahuas,
lost
coming over
stray dogs from a hurricane island,
he would treat them better.
Yes. He'll take them himself. That's just wrong.
And he would make sure that when they got over there, he would tell the people coming, make sure you have, enough stuff, food for them and housing and all that stuff ready for them to go and all of that. So they treat animals better than they treat people.
Thank you. And of course, Whoopi made the comment
God bless America.
That a lot of us feel, a lot of us are probably thinking, you didn't have no trouble when people was coming over from the Canada lines and
they never do.
From England.
No.
We
or the Donna.
We knew somebody that was over here.
Or the Donna.
That was from
Melania.
Her country. Oh, Donald, if they come from my country, don't send them back.
Yeah.
They can stay with me.
Oh my God.
Goodness. So that was that for that whole DeSantis thing.
Yeah, they got some nerve. That's what I'm saying. It depends on how you come over.
And seeking asylum, I thought was no problem.
Well, it used to not. I guess now.
Come on over. If you got some problems, you've been abused and killed and violated, come to our country.
I love how people say our country. And the ones making the biggest noise. Escape.
That's one.
Escape King Charles the First. Or whatever king was then.
No, Charles. You're saying Charles.
It was. He's the third. This one is the third.
Right. That's right.
We don't know what king was back then, y'all.
That's
Richard.
Right.
They only got 5 names.
They came to
Richard,
America.
Andrew, Charles, William.
Those of you know history.
Yeah.
Who was king when the boat came over?
Yes.
And to our America and set foot on the land. Yeah. So, but one of the things that Whoopi made in a comment she made about DeSantis, his grandmother.
Oh.
From Italy.
Did she come over
Come over here.
Did she come?
No. She didn't sign no paper and do no process.
Somebody should have shipped his grandmother somewhere.
So unless I'm wrong, you guys, his grandmother came over how many years ago? into this free country.
Everybody did. They saw the Statue of Liberty. You hear about all the stories.
Now we got a process in place. Oh no, they got to fill out paperwork now.
Well, they should. I agree with that. No, I do think.
Well, my great grandmother, she came over before the process was put in place.
I do think you should fill out.
So I understand
you
that.
need to become a citizen. But my thing is,
but don't make it hard for them to become a citizen. The process is so hard.
Yeah, you need to become a citizen, and you need to
make it a little easy.
Yeah, you need to work.
Yeah,
take it hard.
So I think our process. I thought, and I could be wrong, you guys. Any of you may have gone through the process. Do you have to go back to your country?
I don't know.
If your husband is not legal and you are, do you have to go back to your country and live with him for a certain time frame?
Maybe that's why they have the process. Maybe that's why they have in sanctuary cities, because they don't want people to be sent back.
Yes, to the horrible, and the families are split up while they're going through the process. So it's just a lot going on.
But anyway, I think that I don't have a problem with them shipping people out of their state. If you don't want, if they're not wanted in your state, I wouldn't want to be there if I was somebody coming over. And then I feel like if a state wants you there, then go to the state that wants you there.
That's true.
But if the state wants you there, they need to have a course of what they're going to do. Don't just be like, come on over to our state and do what? You got jobs, you got lined up, you got them, you're going to teach them
have
stuff.
Everything ready for them to learn. And even if they need to learn the language.
But they need to stop with that. They're taking our jobs.
I know.
They're taking our jobs.
I still see so many help wanted signs everywhere. And those jobs are open.
You mean jobs that you don't want to do?
Yes. Yes.
Like Chris Rock said, who going to pick your strawberries?
Uh-oh. Whoa.
You ain't going to do it.
Dig the ditches. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
So, another hot topic was Valerie Bertinelli.
Is that this one?
I believe she's divorcing.
Okay.
And selling her. They talking about her selling her shoes and
selling
stuff.
ring shoes from 2011 wedding.
What's wrong with that? If she want to put stuff on Poshmark or Facebook to sell, she's making money.
And it's from him, right?
I don't know if it's stuff that she received from him. It was from her. They said her 20. Was it married?
Okay, let's look. Valerie,
2011 when they were married.
Valerie Bertinelli's wedding rings and shoes will soon be up for grabs. The Food Network star, 62, I didn't know she was 62, told her Instagram followers on Tuesday that she is selling the Tiffany & Company jewelry and Jimmy Choo sandals from her 2011 nuptials with Tom Vital.
Yes.
Dropped a few things off with at the real something real. The actress caption a couple of Tiffany rings that have some bad memories attached, and a pair of shoes I wore to a wedding in January 2011. She continued, they should be up in a couple of weeks. Bertinelli's son, Wolf Van Halen, because you know she was married to Van Halen, whom she shares with her late ex-husband, Eddie Van Halen, commented, love you, Ma. What's wrong with that?
I know. Some of the ladies at the table were like, yes, because you know Sonny's like good riddance.
Get rid of his stuff. Don't nobody want his stuff.
Sarah talked about a friend, I believe it was a friend or whatever, that the mother bought, they didn't get married, or nobody wanted them to get married, and she bought the ring from them.
Okay.
And she wears the ring wherever they go. And she said, okay, why are you flaunting the ring in front of the daughter that was going to be married to him and whatever? So they were like, well, that's what she wants to do. If she bought it, then let her flaunt it. But one of the things, Joy cracked me up. You know, Joy has to bring the comedy relief. She said she talked about a love letter that she wished she hadn't lost. She said, you don't need to burn everything up, Sonny. You don't need to tear up stuff or sell everything. She said, I wish I kept that letter. And they were all like, okay, what did the letter say? Your absence lessens me. And everybody laughed. Joy, she wanted to hold on to that because of what the meaning of it. Your absence lessens me.
Wow.
So she's happy. But Alyssa brought up a good point. She said, being in a family where that breakup and there was a big divorce with her dad and whoever, her mom or whatever remarrying, she said, you have to be careful too, selling stuff, getting rid of things that kids may want to keep. She said, why couldn't we have kept whatever that item was? Because she as a child wanted it and liked it. So don't be quick to get rid of stuff because you're not with him no more, or her no more, if the kid has already attached himself.
No, if it's mine.
She said it was for the kid. The kid was using
that's different.
She said, don't get rid of everything
No,
he
that's
bought.
different. That's different.
If it's a kid's toy or a kid's remembrance of it.
I agree.
And
if it's for the kid, yeah. But no, my kids aren't going to dictate what I keep.
one thing from him.
I agree.
And she was hurt as a child.
But I wouldn't, anything that he gave me.
No, because the kid wouldn't be attached to it.
Well, they might. They might say, Mom, I want to have that ring or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't care what you want, daughter. Get away from me.
I don't want nothing
I'm
from him.
getting rid of it.
Nothing.
But yeah, I agree. It depends. But why is people making a big deal about that?
I don't know. Why is people's business?
People are such
when you want to keep stuff from your ex or your spouse or whatever, who cares? Because like in what's her name movie, she burnt all his clothes up.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should do that because you could get in trouble, right?
I'm sick of people. I'm done with people.
Legally?
Yeah. People are ridiculous. Let the woman do what she wants.
So move on to this next one. This is the big controversy.
All right,
we want to show a trailer.
Let's show the trailer.
Viola Davis.
This is
her new movie.
The Woman King.
The Woman King.
Oh, okay.
The audience that was at the View had a chance to see it as well.
Okay.
So, of course, the View is not. It depends on who the guests are. They're not going to really go into the controversial of this movie.
Okay.
Maybe it's just starting to talk now.
Right.
Viola has always been a positive person,
and this is her movie.
This is her and her husband.
They produced
this.
Okay.
So there's a lot of truth to the story. It's not a made up story, even though there's some things that's probably fabricated.
Okay.
Because we're hearing on both sides. Those who are historians who
say that it's not accurate.
It's not accurate. And we all know, come on, you guys.
Christopher Columbus story ain't accurate.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Cleopatra.
None of it.
It's Hollywood. Yes.
Right.
And sometimes they'll water down things, or they may not come out with the real truth or something because they don't want to scare you away.
And I'm sure she's going to speak on the controversy later on, probably.
Well,
on why she decided to do it.
Well, yeah, what was her reason for her and her husband to do this story?
What did she say on The View? She didn't say nothing?
She didn't talk about controversy. She, at the beginning when she was on by herself, because the second part was the cast, the three ladies of the cast, beautiful African women. She said they were asking her, of course, playing this part, this role, what was the good things about it. And she, of course, saying being a black woman, dark-skinned black woman. You don't get a lot of parts in movies. It was hard to get this movie through. People were taken back at probably because of the controversy.
Oh, okay.
You never know. And then she felt a lot of times too, seeing black women in that role, powerful, fighting, militant,
because of the whole Black Panther.
Yeah, and you never know, because you can look at things good and bad. I've gotten people who gave me positive on Hunk for Jesus. Right. They love the movie, and some people go, really? So you're gonna get some different views. They said, she also says, as far as the Africa and the movement and all of the countries, you finally don't have to see a white savior coming to help, coming to whatever. One of the things she said, for her, she talked about the last time she was on The View when she was bullied as a 6-year-old. Boys would run her home and they would throw things at her. Okay. She felt that rise up in that as that 6-year-old girl came back and reminded her. Okay. Because she had to learn the parts, the fighting and do a lot of that movement and stuff so she was saying it was something, because Viola always makes a lot of good points in how she says it, whether people agree with the movie or not. Joy asked her, what does she mean by they were terrified of the movie? And she said, because it's black females that never let a box office action movie, failure means you're still working, they're all, working, all of your dreams are on the other side of that fear. So a lot of the things that's in this movie, hopefully set some in the women to understand, your warriors. Within yourself, there's a warrior that needs to come out. Okay. Whoopi asked her if she talked to a lady named Gina Prince. Is a woman that they both know. Apparently, she must have been a director for this movie, and she said she got to know her, and getting to know a lot of other black women that were looking up to Viola. Sarah was saying, you made me feel it's okay, and then people gonna say, because she's a white woman, you made me feel okay to be strong, because she was an athlete when she was growing up. A lot of times,
it's okay to be, athletic.
You get teased being an athlete. Right. You're tomboyish. Right. You boyish. You probably squinch in a skirt. Right. And she said, you made me feel good being like, hey, all right, I can beat you up. And then she talked a little bit about the trueness of the story, because it's a true story. She says based off of and she named the tribe and the group, and I may not be saying it right. Yeah, and I don't want to say it because I may be saying it wrong, but she even said it in the trailer. Okay, she said these women were selected 8 years old to 14. Women that the king didn't want. Oh. They were ugly women. Oh, so they were the misfits. They couldn't misfits. Okay. They couldn't have children. Okay. They couldn't get married. They made these women fight.
So they didn't want the women that they wanted as women.
They were beheaded.
Wives or something.
So you think about it. If that's true in this story.
So she's answering the critics then.
She's saying they had to fight. Yeah. They would either fight or be killed.
So then why are they... Well, I'm letting you hurry up so I can get to the negative.
Okay, go ahead.
Done?
Well, she brought her co-stars on. 3 ladies. One was Thusa Meadow. All 3 of these ladies were in the Underground Railroad, the movie.
Oh, okay.
The
I'm
TV
like, how are they
show,
in the
Underground Railroad.
Okay, all right.
One of the ladies, she's from South Africa. They did a lot of the filming in South Africa. Okay. She was very proud of that in her province. Okay. Province. We all learned when we went to South. My sister and I went to South Africa. Beautiful country. Yeah. I've been to South Africa, Johannesburg, and Uganda. So I've seen Africa for myself. I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly. Even the guy was showing us around.
The good, the bad,
and the ugly. He said, I'll take you to the good. Now you've seen the bad. Now you're going to see the ugly. Right. And we saw the ugly. So okay. But she was proud there. Another lady named Sheila Atim, if I'm saying their name right. She was also in the Underground Railroad show. She is a celebrated stage actor in UK. Okay. She was in there. Said her friends and family has shared anecdotes on what the movie means to them. They're very happy about this, them being a part of this cast. Okay. And Lashana Lynch. When you see their faces, you may recognize Lashana. She was in actually a James Bond movie. Oh, okay. She was in a James Bond movie, and she was in Doctor Strange. Okay. So she's had some back.
So we'll probably recognize
some acting there.
So yeah. So the when you said about her saying about them being 8 to 14-year-old recruited to fight, and if they didn't fight, their heads was going to be chopped off.
They had an option to
maybe
fight
that's why she did, because the controversy that we read about this movie, so that y'all know, is that they saying that this tribe, whatever this tribe
they didn't want slavery, or
they wanted slavery. Oh. And even when the British wanted to stop slavery, they wanted to continue slavery because they was making money by selling out other African villages. Yeah. So this tribe apparently was rich off of slaves. Oh,
selling them and getting the money for it.
Right. So they're saying that I guess they didn't like the fact that this movie is being based off of them. Oh. But what you just said, that's not what the movie's being based off of.
Well, that's the truth she told. I mean,
she's talking about the women. She's talking about the women. And if they made them fight from 8 to 14 and the women that they didn't want, that don't sound like a nice group of men.
No.
So the controversy about these not being
the whole culture.
As far as them saying about the controversy about these not being a nice group of men, apparently she's showing that in the movie.
Yes. Yes.
They're not the nicest group of men. Unless I haven't seen the movie. So if we go see the movie.
We want to go see the movie.
And they show them as being nice guys, or that's not the
what are the women revolting for? Because she's apparently the head of them. Okay. And I really would want
to see the movie. I'm tired of people making comments about
criticizing the storyline.
See the movie.
This is so wrong, and you make women look next.
See the movie.
They made women look like that.
See the movie.
They had no choice but to fight.
Right. And then they talking about they look masculine in here. They made them look masculine.
They had to build up so they can fight.
So I'm sick of people.
I'm not understanding.
So see the movie.
Something that we're missing with the history of this?
Well, we'll go see the movie.
Because there's historians that are giving good and bad reviews as well.
But see the movie. And then come back and give a review from a historian's point of view from what you saw.
Yes.
And then say, this is what I agree with what she did. Right. And this is what I disagree with what she did. Right. Because if what you're telling me, what she said, they don't sound like a nice group of guys. They sound like they went through their tribe, and if you was ugly, if you was wasn't fat then, because they probably didn't have a lot of food, so nobody was probably fat. No, probably but not. If you was ugly, or
the king wouldn't let them marry.
If the king didn't want you, or if the other man didn't want you,
they probably felt like you an ugly woman.
You're gonna die anyway. Nobody's gonna marry you.
I'll make you fight.
So you'll fight.
You're a soldier.
And then because you fight, you gotta fight like
women didn't fight.
You gotta fight like us, like men. So you gotta train like a man, which is gonna make you masculine. So the people who said that the women were masculine, what are they supposed to be, supermodels? And fighting?
They're fighting like this. They're doing the In Vogue movie.
And then somebody had the nerve. I saw the comment. She was like, this movie just builds in the stereotype about black women being masculine and loud and boisterous. So they supposed to, I'm trying to understand. When you go to fight somebody, are you supposed to be quiet and meek?
Okay, no. Here's the question.
And you training with men.
If it's true from what Viola's saying, because sometimes people
that these are throwaway women.
These women, if the king comes to you and he says,
you're going to fight
or die,
then you fight.
And you fight, you're training to fight.
With men.
And you're going to have some muscles. And you're going to have some quick movements with your sword. Come on, people. This making us black women look bad. Those black women was bad. It's good bad. They didn't play.
And as long as they didn't if the true history is that these guys were a bunch of a-holes and she shows it in the movie, then I'm fine with it. But if she doesn't show that the guys who led the tribe were a-holes, then I'm you could have. But then again,
I don't know.
She probably wouldn't have been able
fighting for that king's desire.
She probably wouldn't have been able to get the movie produced. We all know that.
Because
if she would have showed them as being a-holes and selling out, black people for slavery. But you know what? They know black people wouldn't have gone to see it because black people don't want to hear that black people had slaves. And sold slaves.
And think about this, you guys. Whoopi's she's always made this comment on the show. History is not always pretty. It's not glorious. It's not glamorous. And there are a lot of white people who don't like the history of our country and being reminded.
They don't want to know the true history of Christopher Columbus
and the Native Americans' land being taken, and they're the original Americans, and all the ugly. The slave selling and breaking the families up and the raping of the violation of the women.
And then Cleopatra. They don't want a real Anthony and Cleopatra. They want Elizabeth Taylor.
The pointed nose and the high cheek, the fair skin.
And a nice, sweet woman. They don't want Cleopatra that chopped folks' heads off.
I'm thinking, if she's telling a story, unfortunately, let's think of it this way.
It's a story.
If the women were still forced to fight even to help the king and the men get what they want. Think about it. They're using these women.
But you have to or you'll die.
That's what I'm saying. They had no choice. It's like a gun to your head or with a sword to your head or you fight for the king who probably wants you to kill, to do things that's unethical maybe.
So we'll see.
So let's just say she's telling a story.
But even in the trailer we saw, what was the black girl kissing the white guy? They always got to have something.
She slipped away because they said you're not supposed to you can't get married, you can't have babies. They had to.
Y'all had to slip that in there some way.
She slipped away and had a little.
Had to be with a white guy. It couldn't have been with all the African men there.
No, they would have killed her.
Something about that white guy that came there.
White guy who didn't, no, think about it.
Even though white guys are cute, though.
No.
But she just had to have him.
No, think about it. She probably had to have him because he didn't know the rules and that what they had to follow. He didn't know the checklist. The black guys did. They'll tell on her. So that's what I'm saying. She had to slip away with a white guy who had no clue about their whole culture. But one of the ladies,
of course, they had to make it sexy. Nothing sexy. She training with men and everything. I'm sure she wasn't sexy. But that's the Hollywoodish part.
So the hypocrisy, we'll see.
We'll see. We gotta watch it.
And we all know from watching movies from how many years that they do make things Hollywood.
Yeah, they have to.
They take they maybe something that's really important, they may take raw and you'll go, hey, that's not, because somebody
even Schindler's List, he didn't show the raw brutality of what was going on. He showed enough where you cried, but he didn't show them wearing their skin around his clothes or on their necklaces and using the little kids' parts of the bodies, and he didn't show all of that. He made it a little Hollywood.
And I told my sister watching the last King of Scotland,
Oh yeah,
when I was in Uganda, and you talk to people who lived in that time. They said that wasn't accurate. That movie didn't really show what that man did. He was worse.
18 million times
they
worse.
had to soften it down
to Hollywood it. You gotta
watch it. Yeah. But he was not. He was a very mean ruler.
Yeah. So let's see.
That one girl said he made them all get out of school. They couldn't go to school.
Yeah, Idi Amin.
Yes.
So we'll see. Let's see
how they watered down on some of the history. If you guys are studying your history and you look at this tribe, this country, how was it? Is it how close is she to being accurate?
All right, well, we'll see.
But you're always going to get negative.
We'll see. We'll go and we'll see the movie and we'll say what we feel. I didn't
look this up. If you want to Google this, this was the last thing that I really need to probably do before we end it. They ended on, this is Hispanic Heritage Month. Uh-huh. And with all that's going on with the immigrants and all of that, they're celebrating still their history. It's historic of things that has been done with Hispanics. And the View ended on talking about, and I may be saying this right, you guys, wrong, the Baniquaniers is a U.S. Army 65th Infantry Regiment.
How you spell
all
that?
Hispanic unit.
How you spell Barack? Whatever that is. I said Barack.
I don't think it's spelled. I don't think I spelled it right. BONIQ. I don't know. I'm making this up. UENEERS.
BONIQ. What? What is it?
Buccaneers. Boniquaniers. QU. Yeah, this is my made up spelling.
I know, but even find it's Google. It'll
I
would
just say U.S. Army 65th Infantry Hispanic. They were Hispanic soldiers, mostly Puerto Rican.
See, I just did Bonique.
So they came up ears.
You should know about?
No, I would say put in Puerto Rican soldiers, 1899 or something.
You know,
because I made this. I don't know how to spell this word. They were World War I, World War II, and that's
why are we talking about this? Is this important?
Well, it's always important to talk about people of color when they were fighting for a country they wasn't free.
So what are we
Our
doing?
black soldiers was fighting for the freedom of a country.
We don't know what it's spelled like. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
I'm like, if we're gonna look it up, let's see what it is.
Yeah, I was close.
Oh, okay. Boricuas is the only all-Hispanic unit in U.S. Army history. March Air Reserve Base, California. This is on www.March Air Force Base, whatever this is, AFRC.mil. Y'all can see the thing at the top.
1899.
Puerto Rico 65th Infantry Regiment. Mm-hmm. Or regiment, whatever, was the only all-Hispanic unit in the history of the United States Army. Mm-hmm. Yep. The Boricuas, we messing the name up, y'all. Filmmaker Naomi Figueroa, I don't know, tells the story of how this decorated unit faced overwhelming odds, not only on the battlefield during the Korean War, but also in a court of law.
Yeah, it says here, they were court-martialed for abandoning their post, but the Army later pardoned them due to incompetent leadership, poor military tactics, and racism. Puerto Rican troops have continued to courageously serve with very little recognition until 2014. And can we guess in 2014 who gave them the president the nation's top honor, Congressional Gold Medal? What president you think?
Well,
did
it had
that?
to be Obama.
Obama. These men did. When I tell you, when I go on, there's an organization that my sister and I were a part of. It's called Honor Flight. There's Honor Flight in different states and different cities, and Honor Flight takes all of the veterans to the D.C. Area to look at all the memorials that have been put in place for them, to honor them for their service and fighting for our freedom. But the stories that I would hear from the white veterans and the black veterans were different. There was one black veteran, he fought in the Korean War. He didn't even want to get off the bus to go see his... They have different experiences. Said, do you know how it feels to fight next to somebody that don't like you?
Yeah, they have different experiences.
They don't want you here. And you're not even free. You can't even vote.
Yeah.
You're fighting for a country to hopefully have those rights, but they're fighting and they come home. He couldn't even go on the base. In the naval base where we live.
That's ridiculous.
So when they would tell me these stories, I always ask, well, why are you fighting for this? Why are you fighting for this country that don't like you?
Because his family is here.
See, and fighting for the freedom. He's fighting
and
for
that's
the
why I
freedom
tell
of all
people
colors.
that you could be patriotic and still want your country to be better. People automatically think it's because you say something negative that you hate your country.
Yes.
Why don't you go back to Africa? Why don't you go?
No.
Because if you say something negative, no, my grandfather, my great grandfather, they all fought. Their blood is in the land here.
Yes.
This is my country too.
Yes, it's my country.
We
too.
helped build this country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is our country.
Mm-hmm.
We always wanted to be better.
Yes.
So that's why we say
push
stuff.
to be better. Push for freedom for all.
Yeah. Make
Everybody
it better.
can vote. Everybody has the same opportunity. That's why Kaepernick kneeled. It's not liberty and justice for all.
Right.
It needs to be liberty and justice for all.
Well, I don't kneel,
And
but
that's the
I
whole-
stand and salute
Well,
the
he
flag.
kneeled
But he
just
has
to,
the
you know.
right if he wants to kneel. I don't care if you want to kneel,
I
whatever.
don't care at all.
But the same people who had a problem with him kneeling use the flag to break into the Capitol and threaten to hang the vice president of the United States.
You threatening our vice president, but you mad at Kaepernick for
I don't even want to talk about them no more.
I didn't get you
The
riled up.
same ones.
No, I know. I didn't
They
think
had the
about
biggest
that.
problem.
Yes. How dare you, Kaepernick, kneel on when they join the
Including
the Star Spangled
Conover,
Banner.
who
I
says
know.
all those people on January 6th are getting a raw deal. Oh, but did you give Kaepernick a raw deal when
Thank
he
you.
kneeled?
Yes. Yes.
Such a, I hate that. It's
hypocrisy.
so hypocrisy. It drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
How patriotic is
I
that?
know.
To
But-
go into the Capitol
Thank
and
you.
threaten to hang the vice president of
Thank
the
you.
United
Who
States.
does- there's countries that do that. There's countries who actually kill their president. So we
But
don't want to
then
be that country.
and then complain
I know.
that somebody kneeled
Yes.
during the anthem.
During the anthem.
When you was
broke
hurt
windows out and beat up cops.
and it killed cops.
Kill cops.
You did all of that.
With the flag. With the flag. Gosh.
But mad because he,
Oh.
so you don't need to
Yeah.
stir me up by watching
sorry,
this.
I'm
But
sorry.
anyway,
But I wanted to at least
but I'm
pay
glad
tribute,
they do.
give tribute to the Hispanic heritage Hispanic Heritage
I thought that
Month.
was it's
But
the end of September. Is it now?
Mhm.
When is
This
Hispanic
month.
Heritage? Oh, I thought
think
it was
it's this
October,
month.
isn't it?
I thought it was this month. Why would they honor it?
No, I thought it maybe it's the end of September.
But thank you, Obama, for recognizing them. It's just good to hear people that fight for freedom, military.
September 15th through October 15th.
Through October. Okay.
Yeah, I knew
So
it
it's a
was.
time frame.
Yeah, I knew it was September and October.
Part of October.
Okay.
So, but yeah. I pretty much when Sonny was reading the background of these guys, I kind of know what they had their people. They were men of color,
Yeah.
So they had problems. Yes, there was racism.
All right.
The leadership that was over them. So my hat goes off to you guys. As far as
Okay.
thank you for your service. But I'm glad that they shared that. Sonny, she learned something even about this group. Being from Puerto Rico herself. So.
Right. Okay.
But that was it. They ended on that.
Okay.
But again, go see that movie. The Woman King, and see,
and then we'll do it and do a review.
Mhm.
But we need to read up on the real story.
I know.
Them,
What's missing? What is elements that were missing?
I'm trying to debate. Do I want to
covered?
read the real story before I go see the movie, or go see the movie then read the real story?
Let's maybe read it first
and then go see
and
the movie.
see if the movie
matches up
and how much of it does it match to the real story.
Okay.
But interesting. It was a good show today.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, that was it.
All right, guys. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and believe.
And believe. Always believe.
And remember, that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.
Yep.